Hey everyone, we are back this week with the same collection as last week called Bloom Street from Pink Paislee. We are using the leftovers from last week, so we have a limited amount of supplies left. I was going to do pocket pages with this collection and the leftovers of this collection, but I had enough left, and the way it worked out with my pictures, I decided that we were going to try and accomplish a cutting guide that made double pages. So we have a lot of paper left. So we really have a lot of papers to work with. That's sort of the advantage of using a paper pad, is that you get a lot more sheets of paper. So I'm just going through here the pages that we have left. So on the left side of the screen is kind of what we had left over from last week. And then on the paper pad, I'm just taking out more sheets that I think I might want to use this week as well. So we need 3 accent papers and 4 background pages, and because they're double layouts, it's nice to kind of coordinate the backgrounds so that they match or are very similar in their base and their color. So what I went ahead and did is that pink color at the top of the screen in the center, that's going to be one of my accent papers, and then those purple, like that purple like plaid kind of paper, there's 2 of those papers, so that's going to be my background pages. And then this butterfly paper with like the green leafy background, that's going to be another accent paper. And then I kind of liked, we had used these last week, these watercolor very muted papers, so we're going to go ahead and use that watercolor kind of paper again. So they're going to be 2 different colors, but they're very, very similar. So we're going to use that for my second set of background pages. Okay, and then I pulled out the journaling card paper as well, because we had 2 sheets of those. We used one of them last week, and then so we're going to use the journaling card paper again. And here I'm just trying to pick out my 3rd accent paper. I went ahead and used this diamond paper because it just has all the different colors in it, and I feel like it'll stand out on any of the backgrounds we have, and it also coordinates well with our other accent papers. So for cardstock, we needed 4 sheets total, so I have 2 purple posy and 2 seaside spray, and both of those are in colors from Stamping Up. So now what we're going to do is take all pieces of our cardstock, and we are going to be cutting 1 inch in from the side, 1 inch from the top, and 1 inch from the bottom, and cutting a straight line on all 4 sides. So what we are basically doing is cutting out a 10 by 10 inch square out of the center of this 12 by 12 cardstock. Our 1 inch border is going to be put into our piles, so there should be 4 or 6 piles, and then our 10 by 10 inch square that we just cut out is going to be put to the side, and we're going to be cutting them with another cutting diagram once we're done cutting out all these pieces of cardstock. When your paper goes through the cutter in the same direction that it would be on your layout, that's the side that you want to cut 0.25 inches off on. So when your page is sideways through the cutter, you actually want to cut 0.5 inches off on that side. Okay. Okay, so when I went to assemble these pages, I thought that the 1-inch border strip here just blended in a little bit too much with that background paper. So I went ahead and swapped out just the 1-inch border pieces behind, just to create a little bit more contrast with that border and the background paper, and also having that 1-inch border that is that purple posy color will kind of tie together the other purple posy cardstock that we use for the different layering on top of our background paper. So for layouts 1 and 2 here, before I get started, I'm just taking out all of the leftover embellishments and accessories from last week. So there's still quite a bit of stuff left over, which is why I decided to do these double pages instead of doing pocket pages. The theming with this, I decided I kind of wanted something a little bit different for my pages in my 2012 album, so I went ahead and changed things up based on what I had and did double pages instead. So here I'm just using the flowers mostly to embellish on the different parts of this page here. And I thought about putting like some kind of titling, but I think I'm just gonna do that after the fact and do like either like titling for a date or just like the name of the people that are going to be in my photos. So I made this the focal point of this double layout to be mostly that journaling area below that 4x4 photo area. So I anchored that tag on there and then just put some flowers around it. And then I like how that green arrow tag really pops off of the top of that journaling card and layers behind some of those flowers as well. And then I just kind of finish off the rest of the layout by adhering some of these flower embellishments directly to the layout itself, and by popping up some of the other flowers as well. And I think that if I'm going to put a titling, I'm going to put it above that 4x6 photo area on the right side of this double layout. So I'm going to anchor my title, sort of the beginning of my title will be sort of to the right of that flower cluster at the top of that journaling card. So for our second set of double layouts here, I really love this green colored journaling embellishment piece that I put below this 4x6 photo area. I really love that color, but it's like the only thing on the page that's actually that green color. So I want to make sure that when I'm picking my embellishments that I pick something that's going to sort of match that color or come close to it, just so that it helps tie it in with something. So here I anchored with this circle, a butterfly on top of it that sort of brought in that same coloring as that journaling area. And then I wanted a titling that was a different color that was going to contrast with that green but still coordinate nicely. And so I went ahead with this word that says favorite, and then I'll just put a word underneath the word favorite just to make it make sense. So like favorite memories or favorite cousin or favorite whatever. So the bottom of that favorite word is going to be relevant to my pictures, and so I'm going to try and leave this area a little bit more blank so I can write something in there. And I think I'm going to write it in with like a black color, or use some die cut alphabets or something like that. I'm not quite 100% decided yet what I want to put there. So basically what I'm doing below that 4x6 photo area is just sort of like taking that whole titling area that's anchored on top of that green journaling card, and I'm just sort of trying to create like a bigger cluster from that as a focal point. And then I also went ahead and added in a journaling card, just because I'm not really using that green one as a journaling card. It's just sort of like a anchor for my titling. So I went ahead and added a journaling card to the right hand side of this double layout with the butterflies on it. And I just finish off this layout by popping up certain flowers just to give a little bit of depth to the page. And then I finish off the whole embellishment with my leftover butterflies, and I kind of go crazy with them because I know that like this is all that I'm going to be doing with all of these embellishments now that I made all these pages. So I feel like I really got good value out of my purchase, making I guess a total of 8 pages with this paper pad and the coordinating accessories. So I just got some new products in the mail, so I'm not sure what we're going to be doing on our next video, but it'll be something new. So we will see you guys in a couple weeks, and I hope you guys had a great weekend, and I hope you guys have a good weekend coming up as well.